Hello, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of Drunk and Dread. I am Billy McCoy. I'm going to be your host today. I have a cavalcade of players here with me, but before we get into them and the characters they are going to be portraying for you for this episode, we want to do a couple of announcements. Thank you all so much for tuning in to all of the episodes here at the Plastered Dragon, all the different shows that we have. We are happy to announce that the Plastered Dragon has secured its very first sponsored episode, and it is for this show, for Drunk and Dread. It's actually going to be, thank you, Annie. It's going to be next Saturday. We're going to be filming live at location at this amazing coffee place called the Coffee Shop of Horrors that does gourmet.
What about that?
Yeah,
I want to go.
it's really good. The coffee is all like gourmet coffee, and it's all like sort of horror and sci-fi themed. So, yeah, we're going to be filming there, and we're all going to get jittery on coffee and then try to pull bricks. The next show coming up here at the Plaster Dragon is also Chosen Family. That's tomorrow night. I want to say 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. So tune in. That's our home game of Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. You can find episodes that we have done before on YouTube. Also, if you look down at the bottom of your screen, you will see this running ticker of bits that you can do to force our players to make pulls. Some of our audience, you lovely audience, was very cool last game, and they made some of our players pull using a blindfold. There's forced obstacles, and just pay attention to the chat. We'll be showing you guys how you can mess with these players and interact with this particular game of Drunk and Dread. We also want to encourage you to please visit the newly updated theplastereddragon.com with bios from some of the different games that we have going on the channel for characters and things like that. But that's it for announcements. So we are actually going to jump into this game of Drunk and Dread, which I have titled, Clowning Around.
Dun dun dun.
All right. So, the setting for this game is present day. It's 2018. All four of you are high school students living in Louisiana. All four of you are from different walks of life, and I actually would like the four of you, as I describe your characters, to pull a brick from the tower. Now, for those of you who are tuning in for the first time, I'm going to be leading these four on a horror-themed adventure, and they will be pulling bricks from a Jenga tower, or a tower that's Jenga adjacent, in order to make moves in the game to progress their character forward. However, this is the Plastered Dragon, and here at the Plastered Dragon, we like to encourage drinking, so a lot of our players are also going to be allowed the chance to have a drink or a shot in lieu of pulling a tower. All right? So these four players that we have in front of you are going to be high schoolers, and let's actually start with Dustin. Dustin is going to pull a brick from the tower, and he's going to stack it at the top. Dustin, you are playing the role of...
I'm Wyatt.
You're Wyatt. Ooh. We're starting off strong.
I'm gonna die early.
We're starting off strong. Wyatt is your archetypical high school nerd. And if you haven't been able to guess yet, wow, Dustin, buddy. All of these players are going to be playing sort of high school archetypes.
Good luck, everybody else.
So Dustin and I go way back. We did theater together. Next up, we have Annie, my sister, who is also going to be playing the role of Allison. Allison, tell us a little bit about Allison, Annie.
Your classic high school alternative punk, kind of like the weirdo girl kept to herself.
Good. Good. Yeah.
Earphones in.
More concentrated with music than social interaction at all.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
And then we're going to talk to our typical jock, Chet.
Okay.
Chet, tell us a little bit about yourself too, pal.
My name's Chet. I like to play football, kick the pigskin around. My main bros, Chad and Doink. We call him Doink. His real name's Steve, but we all call him Doink. We hang out and just clown around, you know, man.
That was so much better than I did.
And last but certainly not least, we have our popular girl, Brittany. Brittany, how do you spell your name again?
BRYTANNI, and the I has a little heart above it, and that's really all you need to know.
I have to be honest, when creating these characters, Brittany was the only one that I wanted to kill based off of name alone. And spelling of said name. So these are our 4 characters. Now these 4 characters seem like they would be high school students that wouldn't have a lot in common, and you'd be absolutely right. Their paths took very different turns. The only thing that draws these characters together is childhood. All 4 of you lived on the same street, and growing up, you were all friends together. And you all sort of hung out together, but there was one more member of your party, of your club, and that was Bobby. And Bobby was amazing. She was the glue that held this group together. She was kind. She supported you in your music endeavors. She would study with you, you know, and push you to go further than you did. And when nobody liked you and you were in your ugly duckling phase, Bobby was there. And Chet, Bobby was the love of your life before you knew what that was. And all 5 of you were this inseparable pair. And even as high school and life took you in different directions socially, it was Bobby that would encourage you guys to all get together and go have dinner. And as your lives got busier and busier, she would stop pushing as much. But you still had those memories to lay back on and to remember fondly. And it was great. Until it wasn't. Until you woke up one morning and realized that Bobby was gone. And by gone, I don't mean the, you know, sort of figurative, no, she's gone, she's left us. No, she disappeared. Her parents had no idea where she was. She was a good kid, good grades. You all knew her. Everybody in school loved her. So what happens naturally when this happens, it happened. Posters were put up, TV commercials, the police searched for it. All 4 of you were actually brought together and questioned because of your bond with her. And even after all of this, after about 6 months of searching, people had started to forget. The 4 of you didn't, but people did. Which brings us to tonight. It's Saturday night. And all 4 of you are engaged in different social activities. Maybe some of you are at home. Maybe some of you are working on schoolwork. Whatever the case may be, all 4 of you are connected to your phones when you all get the group message. You get a text from Bobby. And Bobby asks you to come to Jazzland. Now, you're all native to New Orleans. You understand Jazzland. Jazzland was an amusement park that was built in 2000. Very popular. Six Flags came along and took over Jazzland. And in 2005, when Katrina hit and Lake Pontchartrain flooded, it became an amusement park that had been abandoned by people. Different companies had come in over the years and tried to salvage it. Nickelodeon even tried to change it into an amusement park. There were actually 4 separate attempts to turn Jazzland into something viable, but it just never took. The swamp reclaimed it. It was surrounded by water. I mean, alligators roamed around. You heard rumors of vagrants and different things happening here at Jazzland, and that's why it's even more shocking when the 5 of you get this picture. This picture of a Jacquemus, a clown statue that's somewhat common. You've seen this picture in news stories, and it's laying on its side, and its white eyes are open and staring forward, and that maniacal grin is on its face. And you see written in the dirt in front of it, "Find me." And the 4 of you know. It's in your core. It's in your heart that you are going. It doesn't matter what you're doing. The 4 of you owe it to Bobby. So it's not shocking when you go to the gates of Jazzland. It's closed. There's no security or anything. It's padlocked. At least it used to be. The four of you are standing at the gates. Gates that are not padlocked at all. And you think you see twinkling lights coming from the distance. And as you acknowledge those twinkling lights, you hear the soft sounds of music and a little bit of laughter filter in from an unspecific location. And without touching them, the gates swing wide. A welcome hug from an unseen visage. And the four of you take your first halting steps into Jazzland. What do you want to do?
I'm okay right here, guys. You can go in.
Yeah. So let's grab our beers. That's a perfect thing to drink on. Here's to all the stories from now until we're dead. Here's to you. Here's to me. And to all of you, here's Dread.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Oh, sorry, I didn't
That
choose
is
that.
fireball. That is
I failed
fireball.
test number 1. I just.
Oh,
Dun,
Oh,
dun,
God.
dun, dun, dun.
oh God. Tracy
I'm
just
already
spilled
spilling.
beer.
I'm already spilling.
This is not a good
Wow,
start to
it's
this
already
episode,
started.
guys. This is not a good episode. Okay.
Oh.
All right. Okay. You're at the gates of Jazzland. What do you guys want to do?
Do we know where the Giacomo statue usually is? Have
there
you
was-
been there before?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Have you been there before?
I have not. They're notoriously dangerous places, so I try to stay away.
Gosh, it closed in 05, and
Right.
this is 18, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it closed 13 years ago.
Right.
So we would have been pretty young. So the only way that we would have been in there is if we snuck in at some point.
Yeah.
I snuck in.
Me and Bobby, we snuck in like a year or two ago, kind of into the tunnel of love, you know.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Let's.
Year ago. So,
Yeah.
like, Bobby knows her way around.
Yeah, I would hope so. She if she's in there, then she seems like she would know what she would be doing. Unless if she went there of her own free will.
So then, do you know where the statue is?
Yes, I know where the statue is.
All right.
It's in the center of the park.
It's near the center of the park. So, you know what? That's believable to me. I'm not even going to make you pull for that one. You lead the group and you start taking your first halting steps into the park, and there are abandoned sort of turnstiles. It's a very traditional sort of theme park. You even see graffiti and things like that. If somebody wants to take a closer look around and be aware of your surroundings, I would allow you to pull a brick or take a liberal drink of your drink. But for now, all you're noticing is it's very dark. It's after sundown. There's not a lot of like running power in the park. And
I
stuff
believe
like
I would want to look a little bit further around,
that. Okay.
from a safe distance behind Chet.
All right. You're gonna take a drink, or you gonna?
Yeah, I'm gonna take a drink.
Okay. So
We can see that my skills of dexterity are not.
you are starting to. Ooh, this is gonna be great. You are starting to look around the park. You're starting to look and notice things. But it is Wyatt. Is the one of you to notice the small dark form that looks like a humanoid shape huddled into a little ball off to the side under an awning, which looks to be like an awning for a game, like an old carnival game or something akin to that. And it's only him that notices it. All right. You guys keep
All right.
walking forward. You keep walking forward. You're headed towards the center of the park. As you make your way to the center of the park, you get to the part where you see the large Giacomo head, and it's laying on its side. And I will be posting a picture of the picture that you guys received into the Discord later. And you see the words, "Find me." But there's something else there. You see what looks to be red splotches. And you see somebody has written another E and another E, and another E, and another E in the dirt. And every E looks like it's getting like redder. And it's different from the photo in that regard.
So, should we, like, is the E's like pointing in a direction?
You know what? They might be. They are pointing in a very specific direction. You notice this little spiral pattern, and you know it's a spiral because like you're good at throwing spirals.
Yeah,
And you're like, hey guys, these E's are pointing in a specific direction, and you look and it's pointing to it's pointing towards the go-karts.
So I think our next step of action should be heading towards the go-karts. Unless you guys want to
Chet.
look around here more.
I think you're right, but I don't think we should go directly towards the go-karts. I think we need to find a little bit of a path
Should we do a zigzag?
around.
Yeah.
Not a
Oh
zigzag.
my God, can
it's
we
not
just
an
go-
alligator, Chet. Just maybe a little end around.
Can we just go towards the go-karts? Oh my god, this is taking so long.
Well, wouldn't that be exactly whatever it wants?
Look,
It?
Like,
she
or-
actually
we
learned
don't- we
something
don't-
in class.
Wow, really? Whatever. We don't know that this is Bobby.
She texted us.
Yeah. Did you actually see her text it? You know, technology is an amazing thing, Brittany.
Yeah,
it
for
really
all we
is.
know,
Really?
this could
You're
be
gonna be all
Anybody can
sarcastic with
pretty
me?
much hack in.
For all we know, this could be a prank that the two of you popular kids are trying to pull on us to embarrass us. So
Look, man, we've been friends a long time. Would I prank you? Yes.
You
but
did
that's
just
not the
the
point.
other day, Chet. I'm still sore over here, man.
Look, why would I write in the sand with blood? That's fucking crazy.
Oh my God, you think that's
actually,
blood?
has anybody checked to see if it's blood?
I'm not getting down there.
I'm gonna check it to see if it's even blood.
Okay. How are you doing that?
I'm gonna take as much as I can and smell a little bit because there would be an irony smell to blood.
Yeah, I'll grant you that. You dip your hand into this little pool full of blood, and I'm not going to make you pull for that. You bring it up to your mouth. I will make you pull because when you bring this hand up to your mouth, you smell the iron, and you know beyond a shadow of a doubt because you've had your fair share of sinus-induced nosebleeds that this is blood, and I'm going to need you to either pull or take a drink to maintain composure and not start freaking out.
I'm not gonna die today.
Okay, so Wyatt confirms it's blood, and he starts hyperventilating a little bit, but he gets his breathing under control, and he just starts nodding his head vigorously that it is indeed blood.
It's blood, and I still say we don't go directly towards those bumper cars. Let's take a different path. I just have a feeling we should maneuver a little bit, guys.
You said there was like when we walked in, there was like lights
In the
in
distance?
the distance.
Yeah.
Would that be inside the park?
It would be inside the park.
Can
You
I-
could try to pinpoint it if you would wish, but you're gonna have to maybe climb a little higher up. You could probably climb on top of this little like.
I was a
helicopter.
cheerleader for like a bunch of years. I'm really good at climbing.
Okay, Britt, you.
Oh yeah, I, can
I
help
vote
you out,
Brittany.
dude.
Yeah, we
Uh,
can do like a tower or something.
Yeah, I'll hold your feet.
Brittany very easily climbs up, and as she climbs up, you're used to doing this, or lifting somebody. It's not that hard for you. So Chet, you kind of lift Brittany up, and you like push her butt a little bit and give it a smack, and
Hey, watch it.
And she,
Sorry, dude.
Wow, really classy.
she climbs up onto the sort of the little like another sort of gaming roof. This might be like a food roof. There's a little like chimney attached to it, and you see a bunch of clothes up here.
Like clothes on the roof.
Clothes on the roof.
What do
You
they
s-
look like?
They are pairs of faded blue jeans. You see what looks to be a construction worker vest. You see 8, 9, 10 pairs of shoes. You see socks. You see polka dots. You see like polka dot shirt. You see what looks to be like uniforms for maybe a past park worker up
So
on the
all
roof of
from
this
different
building.
people, like different sizes, different people.
If you want to take a closer look at the clothing, I would let you do that.
I will take a closer look at the clothing.
Yeah, you should take a closer look at the clothing, and you're not quite sure. I mean, you're a little sure, but as you start picking up pieces of clothing, you notice that, these are from different sized people. The most concerning, though, is the children's clothing. Good portion of these are little kids. I mean, there are some adult clothing, but there's also some little kids' clothing up here as well.
Is there anything recognizable from Bobby's clothing?
I would take a closer look. It's been a while since you guys hung out.
Doesn't make any sense.
Unfortunately, you are not up
That's
there.
right, I'm not up there, so what am I doing?
Roofs don't need clothes.
Do I?
Doesn't make any sense.
Okay, so I see something that's Bobby's.
Do you?
Can I look to see if they're?
That was very liberal.
You're looking. No, there's nothing at Bobby's up here. You are absolutely 100% certain. You helped her do all of her shopping. You helped her pick out clothes. Like even that was the thing that you guys enjoyed doing, and there is nothing of Bobby's up here.
Up here.
It's then that you notice that all of the little buildings in the area look like they have clothes on them. Like all of them have little things, like little shoes, socks, and you're looking hard because it's the light is not up here, and so maybe you pull out your cell phone and you turn the flashlight on, and it looks like each of the roofs of the buildings around you have different things on them. Like this one has clothes, there's another one close to it that has clothes, and the other one in the distance looks like it's got some sort of rotten meat. Maybe another one has stuffed animals, but the left eye of all the stuffed animals has been taken out. And you look at another one and it's filled with books. Just books all over it.
Brittany, you want to tell us if you've seen anything up there?
Yeah.
We're just kind of chilling down
Okay,
here.
so like I'm seeing a lot of clothes all over this roof, and then some of the other roofs. But like there's a roof over there that's covered in books, and there's a roof over there that it's covered in meat. What is that?
There's a
Where's
guy
that coming
whistling,
from?
I think.
Where is that coming
Okay,
from?
guys,
Why?
honestly, I gotta tell you
Yeah,
something.
what is
When we
that?
first came in, there was a little bit of a shadow figure.
Why didn't you tell
And
us?
you didn't tell us?
Oh,
I thought it was one of those like stuffed amusement clown type things,
Did it-
but
What the fuck did you think
did it look like it could
Chet.
be Bobby's size?
Where is
no,
that
it's
sound
not
coming
Bobby.
It's
That
not
sound is
Bobby.
coming from the loudspeaker system. Something that, for all intents and purposes, should not be on.
There shouldn't be any electricity.
Did you pick when
Guys?
the lights are coming?
Guys, you need to leave right now. You need to leave right now, guys. You need to leave.
I'm going with Bobby on this one.
Peekaboo.
Brittany,
Is that
you might
Bobby's
want to
voice
come
for all of
down.
That was not Bobby's voice. The Bobby's voice was unmistakably the first sound you heard.
And then the laughing was a different voice.
Different voice.
And then the peekaboo was a third voice.
No, it was the same voice as the second one.
Brittany, you might want to come down.
That was definitely Bobby. I think we have to stay here. We have to find
So
Bobby.
Bobby's still alive.
Bobby is still alive.
Somebody could have recorded her voice and put it on there, guys.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Okay. Let's
6
find Bobby.
months ago? I mean,
Yeah.
Suddenly, the
tapes
twinkling
last.
lights that you guys all saw click on hard. And Britt, you're up enough that you can see that 3 different places have lit up. Brighter than should be possible.
Brittany, where's the light coming from?
Guys, there are 3 different spots. Are they associated with the roof, the stuff on the roofs, or are they completely different places?
No, they look like attractions. If you want to look really hard, I bet I could tell you what these attractions are.
I will look really hard.
Yeah, you look and you know exactly what these are because you kind of see the signs off in the distance. You know, off to the sort of left-hand side, if Brittany is facing this way, I'm gonna paint it for you like this, guys. Brittany's facing this way. Off to this way is the go-karts.
which is where the blood left.
Right? Off to this way is, she points in the direction and you know instinctively that it's the Tunnel of Love.
Yeah, I do.
And off to this way is an area that you are not familiar with whatsoever, unless any of you were here before.
I snuck
He
in.
was.
Yeah, I was here before.
Have you been here before?
Me no.
I was there as like a kid, but I don't really remember.
Let's see if you remember, because this would have stood out in your mind. So you can take a drink for me, or you can do a pull. Oh shit, you guys. This was the special thing to Jazzland. This is where they stored all the parade floats. And those 3 places have lit up.
Okay. It's obvious from the blood they want us to go towards the go-karts.
Or she wants us to go towards the go-karts.
If she even put it in her own blood, if that's her blood. So my thought is, rationally, let's go to a less likely place to start.
My thought is, if that's her blood, let's go find her.
Yeah, we've got 2 things pointing to the go-karts. I say we go to
Yeah.
the go-karts.
Well, I say that we go to the Tunnel of Love because if she used to go to the Tunnel of Love with you all the time and she wants us to find her, wouldn't she lead us to the place
Okay,
that you used to go to all the
Yeah.
time?
if he went to the Tunnel of Love with her, she knows they went to the Tunnel of Love. That's already a special place. We know the blood's pointing to the go-karts, or whatever they are. Why not go to the third option?
I do want to say that you do not all have to stick together.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
Guys, I've watched a lot of horror movies. We need to stay together. Nothing good happens from separating. Especially from Chad.
You guys hear a shuffling sound. It's
Where?
coming from the front of the park.
And I say we need to do it now.
we need to make a decision now. Which
I
which
say
way
we go to the go-karts.
Let's take a vote.
go-karts.
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 It's on your heads.
You go to the go-karts. You start making your way through the park, and it's dark. And even with the light going, you start seeing weird graffiti, and the graffiti looks like
What's the
normal
graffiti say?
stuff. So and so was here. Symbols, paintings, and stuff like that. As you make your way towards the go-karts, you're noticing some weirder symbols. You're noticing some abstract shit. You're noticing some ancient writing.
Okay. I've studied a lot of ancient writing. There's a good chance that I've seen something that would clue me in.
There is
So
a
what this
really
is.
good chance.
I am going to try to interpret
Let's
one of
see.
these
You're
signs.
thinking.
Dang, I'm already out of beer.
And you've thought long and hard, and it is a good thought you've had because you do recognize some of these symbols. This is getting into, for a while there, where you were playing the Devil's Game of Dungeons and Dragons. You notice these symbols because for a while there you had a character that was a necromancer.
Do I have enough to interpret some gist of what they're saying?
You might. You start looking and start interpreting, and the only thing that you can interpret from this whole thing is
Ooh, that went down flat.
the only thing Wyatt can interpret from these symbols is one reoccurring symbol, and luckily it's the only symbol that you remember from your time as studying because you like to get deep into your character stuff, and it's the word sacrifice. And you're seeing it in multiple ways. You're seeing it amidst drawings and amidst paintings and weird symbols, but you're seeing the same recurring thing, and you're seeing sacrifice.
Okay. I'm going to take these off. Otherwise I've just gotten beer laden.
You gonna tell us something?
Guys, we've decided to go towards these go-karts. I'm going to tell you right now. I see the word sacrifice over and over again. We've already got blood, now we're talking blood sacrifice. I know you guys aren't the sharpest tools in the drawer.
There's a figure standing in front of you.
But we
Okay,
should
got
go
it.
fast.
In front of who? What?
It's standing very still. You're now within sight of it, and it's right in front of the go-kart tracks. It is wearing bright red pants. It is wearing a
Chet.
bright white shirt, and its back is faced to you. It is. It's got big poofy sleeves, white gloves, and it is standing perfectly still.
Is there anything weapon-like around me that I can grab?
That's a really good question, pal. Is there anything weapon-like around you that you can grab?
Maybe I should start doing Jenga.
Oh! Surprising all of you because he's never. You can always give up a grab. You can always give up if you feel like you need to. Holy shit! That tower is coming down. You are also welcome to adjust bricks on your next pull. Yeah, actually, you go over Wyatt and you look and you find one of those old games where you hit the thing as hard as you can with a mallet and see if it'll go up the strength test, because you remember getting teased mercilessly, and you pick up the mallet and you can barely hold it, but you know that if you hold it right that this is going to do some major damage.
I'm going to give it to Chet.
Okay.
Thank you.
Chet, you have a large mallet. And that figure is still standing there. And
Hey! Who the fuck are you?
Such language, Chet.
It's what I do. It's my image. Hey, I'm talking to you.
Hey, turn around, okay?
What the fuck's going on? Don't make me come over there, dude.
That's not working, Chet.
All right, guess I gotta go over there, dude.
Yeah, that's all you, man.
I start walking
Chet. Maybe confronting him right now is not the best plan. Perhaps we should continue on our way, but as I said before, not go directly towards the go-karts. He's gonna follow us one way or the other, and you'll have your chance, Chet.
Maybe it's
You'll have it.
I've already got the mallet,
Yeah, and you can use it later just as much as you can use it now, Chet.
but I want to use it now.
Okay.
Oh.
Your funeral.
We're walking into the sacrifice area.
10 steps
and
away.
we wanna- oh,
He's getting closer. Is he getting closer to us?
nope.
He's just
Oh my god,
staying
I
there,
believe in
man.
you. You
5
just
steps
throw it,
away.
This, okay?
throw something at him.
Okay.
3 steps away.
Chet, why instigate? Let's just go on our way.
I-
He's gonna follow us.
1 step away.
I say, hey! Talking to you. Turn around. Fuck face, clown, nose.
Nothing. You're 1 step away from it.
I don't want to hit an innocent man, even if he is creepy.
Take his knees out.
What do you do?
I poke him on the shoulder.
Ooh, that's a bad idea.
Brittany is tackled from the side. Everybody was concentrating on this figure here, and Brittany is tackled to the ground by someone running in from the side alleyway and tackles her to the ground. And it is a mess of torn red fabric. If this was clean, this looks like it was put together shoddily from discarded clothing and pieces of clothing. So Brittany is now a tumbled mass on the ground. She has been tackled, and she is being like pushed to the ground and held down by
Chet,
this
do
crowd.
something,
And all
man!
she's hearing
I'm listening.
is laughing. And then Britt, you manage to see this face, but all of the eyes are sewn up. You see painted eyes where the eyes should be, and you see as teeth start to try to clamp down on you, and this figure is on top of you, and the eyes are painted, and you see stitches where the mouth should be, and it is stitched upward, and it is trying to bite you. Brittany, what do you do?
I try to fight it off. Does it look human?
It is human. It is very human.
I-
It is just painted and sent to and not looking
I'm
like it's
yelling
well.
and screaming,
I'm
kicking and pushing.
Fucking
Okay.
booking it.
I'm running to
You're
tackle
not
it.
gonna get there.
I'm
in
running
time.
to tackle it. I'm gonna
Brett,
save
I
Brittany.
need you to do something to either push this thing
nothing.
off or fight it.
I'm going. Can I help her?
Brittany has to do this alone.
Okay.
After it's off of her, then we can talk. Britt, what do you do?
I kick and push and punch and try to wriggle out from underneath it.
You push this thing off of you, and this thing goes flying backwards. And as it goes flying backwards, Britt actually pushes this thing over a park bench, and you all watch as its neck snaps. As its head gets stuck in between the rungs of the bench, and its feet go flying backwards, and its neck audibly snaps.
Did I just kill a guy?
Holy
Don't know
shit,
if you
dude,
can
that
call
was
that.
awesome.
I don't know if you could call that a guy.
Fire giving you an obstacle. And then you hear laughter.
Like from the thing
Yep.
that just died?
And it pops its legs forward and takes its head and shoves it down to the side like this. And it gets up and starts sniffing the air.
We gotta run. We gotta get it.
The minute you say
Wait.
that, it starts coming and running towards you.
Oh gosh.
And it's running and it's
Okay,
running.
I would know enough about
It
robotics.
turns toward him.
I know enough
and
about
turns
robotics to figure out if there's some way to trigger this because it's
around.
obviously
It's running
not human.
straight for Wyatt. It's going to be
And
there
I'm
in
going-
5,
I'm going to
4,
assess whether there's some way to
3,
stop it.
2,
I
1. This is not a robotic, and you have that. You have that thought.
Yeah.
Spit it. There you go.
This is disaster on so many levels.
You have that thought. You have that thought as this thing gets close to you, and what you don't see is Chet, who is already running an intercept course because he's played enough games of football. And as it comes to tackle you, Chet, you come in with a wide-handed bam right on the thing's head, and it drops to the ground.
I'm like, even as it's down, I'm gonna start fucking wailing on this thing with the mat.
Awesome. It is a bloody pulp, and you are covered in blood from about the waist down. But it has stopped moving, and the go-kart track is still lit up, and you are standing there, and the only thing that is in front of you is the in-moving figure of the thing you just destroyed, and the frozen silhouette of something that you have yet to look at.
I want to
That's right.
examine this thing laying on the ground that Chet just destroyed because
Yeah.
I should be able to tell enough if this is human biology or something else.
Okay. Yeah, and I will give you enough of this since you're a bit of a science nerd. This is human. This is very human. For some reason, the eyes have been sewn shut. The mouth has been stitched into a grimace and a grin. You pay attention to the clothes, and you look like the clothes have been shoddily put together, almost like a ramshackle. It's a red T-shirt that's been put inside out. The blue pants look like they're part of an old parachute that somebody tore and twisted and manufactured into what you only can think of as a rudimentary clown costume. But that neck broke. You're certain
There's
of it.
nothing mechanical on it, nothing that could have turned it back around.
Are you going to search him?
I'm going to search him.
Okay. You can definitely search him.
Oh, dear. Do I go for this or do I go for this?
Oh,
I think, you know what? Know your strengths, people.
Okay. You search him, and inside of his coat pocket, sewn into the lining, you start feeling around in there, and you feel something hard. And so you actually pull everybody over, and everybody gathers around, and you see what looks to be a... There's no other way to describe it than what looks to be like a vermin's foot. It's either a mouse or a rat or an owl of some sort, and it is red on the tip of it, and it's held in a little brown bag filled with sand and other things like that inside this little brown bag. And the minute he takes this little bag out, there's this and That's it.
From the thing on the
Okay.
ground.
Yes.
Guys, you've heard of voodoo. I'm not saying it's real, but I'm saying there is plausible thought process that there is something beyond what we know. I don't like to go into that realm. It's not provable.
But with the sacrifices, that would make sense.
Exactly. And I shut.
From some distance away, you hear that same shuffling sound.
With the
It's-
shit that's going on right now, I'm inclined to believe anything. So I think we should just get the fuck out of here.
Not-
Fuck this guy standing there.
Is the foot fresh? Is the rat's foot fresh?
I'll give you that. No.
And there's still that thing standing with its back to us.
Yep. Still unmoving.
Is there a way to get around to go look at the go-kart area without having to like walk right next to it?
Yeah, absolutely. You want to cut a wide path
Yeah.
around? All right, so it's Brittany that while you guys are talking and sort of discussing this bag and foot inside of it, Brittany cuts a wide path around and she goes around. And Brittany, as you're watching, it is the same sort of visage that you saw before, eyes removed, cut, grin held up, but it is a mannequin. It is a mannequin standing there in a perfectly tailored, beautiful white and black Giacomo costume. And
Can I tell it's definitely a mannequin? Like, can I run up and freak him out by just running up and being like, ah, and then just kicking it over at the last minute?
yes, you.
Okay.
Before you do that, though, there is something stapled to the mannequin's chest,
Oh,
and it is a very large photograph. Do you remove that before you kick the mannequin?
No, I want to kick it over first and then pick up the photograph.
Okay, so Brittany scares the shit out of all of you guys by running up, drop kicking this mannequin like a Buffy the Vampire Slayer cosplayer, and drops this thing to the ground. And when she does, the head falls off, the arms fall off. Like this thing was just very shoddily put up, and you hear as the picture that was on there kind of floats to the ground. And it's Bobby, and she's crying.
In the picture?
It's a black and white photo. Looks like it was taken in one of those like old-timey photo booths.
Do you show us?
Yeah,
this
yeah,
picture?
guys. There was a picture. I'm sorry for scaring. No, I'm not sorry for scaring you. That was hilarious. But yeah, there's a picture of Bobby.
Okay. Go ahead.
Sorry, are there any significant marks on Bobby in the picture?
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Well, what? Okay, what do we see? Where is she in the picture?
Who is taking a closer look at this photo?
I am.
I'm giving Allison the first shot because she's the one who did it. She's the one who asked about it first. Are you taking a closer look or are you handing the photo off?
I'm taking a closer look.
Are you?
Yes.
I feel like we're in safe hands.
You're looking, and it's the symbols that he pointed out to you. It's the symbols that Wyatt pointed out to you.
On her body,
It's carved into her cheek.
Okay,
it's carved into her cheek.
The lights on the
Allison,
go-kart
what's
track go out.
around her? What's around her? Where?
Can't tell. It's pitch black dark right now. All the lights of the go-kart track just went out.
We have
Flashlight.
phones. Yeah, we have phones.
But we don't know that this is a new picture, guys. This could have been staged at any point.
You pull out your cell phones and you look and you see, you're looking at the picture. You're examining. You two took sips of your drinks. It's hearts. Pink hearts.
The
blue
tunnel
hearts,
of love.
black hearts.
Okay,
We
guys,
have- I
again,
told
we don't know
you-
when
I
the
told
picture
you we
was
should've gone to the
taken.
tunnel of love.
They are obviously pointing us in two directions. I still go with, we go over to the place that you didn't go to with her, you frickin' hoe bag. And it's not pointing in blood. Let's go over to where the frickin' thingies are.
Shuffle.
Shuffle what?
Shuffle. Sound of shuffling. You guys have heard.
Let's
Let's
go
just
to
go-
where they keep the parade floats.
Shuffle.
Let's go to the parade floats.
Shuffle.
okay.
You head over to the parade floats. It's dark out. You're still using your lights. You are being a little bit more cautious after Brittany was tackled to the ground, and there is a large warehouse that you're standing in front of, and there is a picture of a clown outside of the warehouse, and there's a speech bubble coming out of the clown's mouth that says, "Come on in!" And it's got this smile on its face, and somebody has spray painted, "The water's just fine," and dripped red spray paint down off of it, and there is a door in front, and you are able to see without doing too much studying that the lights on this warehouse are on.
Okay, he's got a frickin' hammer. Is there any other weapons around the three of us could pick up just so we're not sitting
Broken
ducks?
timbers, anything.
Are there any other weapons?
Yes.
Great question.
Do we each
I'm
have
guessing
full
I have to
weapon?
do this.
Yep. Chet, you find it's something a little bit more Wyatt's style. You actually go over and you find an aluminum baseball bat from the batting cages that's a little easier to swing. It doesn't
Thanks,
take
brother.
brute strength. Hands it over, and you hand this back to him, and you guys flash back to childhood. I'm gonna give you guys a little bonus scene of like,
Did you just do Wayne's World?
he
Huh?
just did Wayne's World. Wyatt, you're on a playground and you're getting the shit kicked out of you.
By Chet?
No. By some other kids. You had just moved into the neighborhood, and Chet comes in swinging a foam Nerf baseball bat and beats these older kids off of you. And he's standing there, and you look up and you remember him handing you your glasses, and this memory you hadn't thought about in years. You put the glasses on, and he's standing there like some sort of knight, and Bobby's next to him. And he holds out his hand to you, and he says,
You okay there, little man?
I'm good. I'm fine. I'm good.
I cannot abide the downtrodden being trodden on.
Bobby hits you in the arm. She's like, "You're such an idiot.
Ow!
Stop it. Come here." And she helps you up, and you're back.
Okay, guys.
Dude, you remember that time in elementary school when like
Chet, do you know how rare collective recollection is? It's the beers that I did without the drink. But I'm glad you're there with me, brother, but we gotta do this for Bobby.
right, you're doing it for Bobby, man.
Four of you stand at the entrance to the warehouse.
I love you, big bull.
Love you, man.
Oh my god, are you two done? Let's go in already.
Is there
Okay.
Can
Are
we
you
check?
gonna kiss? Just go ahead and
can-
kiss him.
can
You're
we
gonna
check-
kiss.
You know,
Wait, can't the girls get a weapon too?
Yes.
I'd
And
like
you
to get
took
a
sip.
weapon.
You took
I
a sip.
asked for all of them.
Well,
so.
no. Here, hang on.
Holy shit.
You're turning into me.
It's tonight. Apparently, none of us can drink tonight. Crap. I'm gonna have to wash the couch. tomorrow.
You are a hot girl,
You can
and
wash
you
couches.
realize that like you're not walking into any sort of situation with dumbass boys and not having any sort of weapon on you. So you pull out your very pink, very effective taser. And you're like, oh shit!
You've been hiding this the whole time.
Oh my god, I totally forgot I had a taser, guys.
Totally spaced.
Totally forgot that.
Totally
oh my
spaced.
gosh.
That's
God, Brittany, always.
That's on me. Okay, so I'll say this for you too. You go over and there's a little bit of a bandstand out front, and you walk over and you're kind of digging around the bandstand. You find like an old guitar. You're not going to want to lug a guitar, and you see a couple of drumsticks in the drum container, and you're like, oh yes. And you pick them up, and it looks like for some reason, you don't know why, somebody sharpened the end of both of these drumsticks. So you have two drumsticks that are sharpened to a fine point. You've got like prison ship drumsticks. So mallet, drumsticks, taser, aluminum baseball bat.
Can I take a string off one of the guitars?
Yes, you may. You take a string off one of the guitars as well. You're
Can
standing.
I get one too?
Yes, you may. You're standing there at the entrance to this warehouse, and
Okay, guys, I really think we need to do a back-to-back formation as we enter this. If we're all facing the opposite directions, we can see what's coming at us from every angle.
Well, is there just the one entrance? Can we look and see if there's a
Chad, do you really want to split up? Have you ever watched Halloween,
No,
man?
Are you-
we all go together to look and see if there's a back entrance.
Are you proposing that we all stand back to back and do this little scooty thing? It's like, really?
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I'm not doing that either.
Okay,
What if we all go in a circle and like constantly
you know what?
rotate?
Go on your own then. Let's see what happens. Seriously, every point of angle. Chet, come on. You're with me.
You
want to go into the army,
You
I'm
hear
sure.
an anguished
Would you-
scream coming from inside.
Okay, quickly,
All right.
guys.
Let's go.
Seriously,
Let's go.
look at
Let's
every
go.
angle.
I
Let's
walk
be
in.
We'll
smart.
run in
Let's-
together.
I walk in.
No, look at every
One.
angle. You run in, your back's
I
the
run
one
in.
way.
Run.
Oh dear.
Run it.
3.
You coming?
No,
You're not going. We're already
Oh, we're in.
I'm going around to find another entrance in because I know they're going to need my help after this one.
The 3 of you walk in through the front entrance, and it is then where Wyatt, you are looking around, and you're not going in this fucking front entrance.
Is
because
there
what they're
another?
doing is,
Do I
like,
see another entrance? And I'm imagining you're going to make me drink.
I can't let him go by himself. I'm going back for him.
Yeah, you.
I'm going back with
you
Wyatt.
It's my
feel-
nerdy sexiness.
You feel footsteps coming up behind you, and you guys are looking for this other entrance, and you hear
Wait, they do or we do?
you two.
Okay.
You two, because she's caught up with you at this point. You find a door.
Is it open?
No, it's locked.
Can I knock the handle off with my bat?
Ye-
We can hear something.
Can she knock the handle off with the bat because she's probably stronger than I am?
Yes, I was gonna make you pull, but yeah, she's definitely stronger than you are.
There you go.
She does that. You take a puff of your inhaler. You knock the handle off of the door, and it's looks like a utility closet, or it looks like a utility area for this particular attraction. And you see a body tied to a chair, slumped over.
What is?
I poke it with my bat.
It jostles a little bit,
Okay.
and it looks up at you, and its face is cut to shit. It is the same symbol that you saw in the photo. The hair has been pulled out in clumps. The clothing is ragged, and there is so much blood on the face that you cannot recognize who it is. And you just hear.
Okay, is it facing? Okay. I
It's
want to look at the
facing
door that
towards
we
you.
entered from.
Yep.
Look and see if there's another door somewhere else, but don't leave me.
There's no other door.
I'm going
It's
to the
one
bottom.
utility closet. There's no other door.
Do I recognize this person at all?
Do you?
Can we?
Do
Can I
I-
check the?
Do I recognize this person?
You do recognize this person.
Wait, who is it? If I recognize them, I know who they are. Who is it?
This is a person that you spent a lot of time with.
Is it Bobby?
No. It's Bobby's father.
Okay.
And Bobby's father is gagged.
Do we have to untie? I ungag him. But put my hand over his mouth quickly so it doesn't say anything. Ask him to be quiet. And tell him we're here. Can he walk? Does he have a cell phone?
Has he seen Bobby? Is Bobby alive?
Is there a place that I can safely lead him to that will hide him from anybody?
He's moving his hands. He's trying to take his
Okay,
hands from
I
behind him.
untie his hands. Okay, and I grab her. And we look up.
And there is a vent open in the ceiling.
Is there anybody in there that I can see?
There's 4.
That's
Somebody's that you can see.
bad.
And they smile, and one drops down from the ceiling and stands there.
And before I can even have a thought process, I smack their head.
You smack his head,
Yeah.
and he grabs the bat out of the air, and he says, "Have you come to play? Because I'm here to play."
And I grab her and run out the door.
3 other beings fall from the vent system, and as he's laughing and holding the bat in his hand, he looks at you and he calls out to you by name. Allison! Allison!
Didn't I already grab her?
Wyatt! Do you turn back around?
Nope. You never go back. First rule.
You can keep running, but do you turn back around?
Do I recognize the voice?
Do I
You
see?
do.
I keep pulling her and running. We don't turn around. Unless she wants to go back, I'm running.
I stop.
I'm running.
I go back.
You turn around, and as you turn around, he goes, I'll see you real soon. And he slices Bobby's father's neck and blows you a kiss. And without touching it, the door slams shut. And that's where we're going to take our
She in
intermission
there?
tonight, folks.
Oh
We're gonna
Now I'm freaking scared.
we're gonna
Is she in the door or is she out?
We'll figure out right after intermission. We're going to take a real quick intermission, folks, to refill our drinks, to use the restroom. Thank you so much. Please, please, please stick around. This tower is going to fall. There will be more drinks and more Drunken Dread in just a few seconds. Thank you so much. Apparently, I've scared the players a little bit, and they have informed me as such. I hope you all are enjoying yourselves. So I contemplated fixing this tower, like on the break, but there's no fixing it. This thing is wonky as hell, and it's gonna fall very soon. So I'm just gonna leave it where it is, and we're gonna pick up right where we left off from the other side. So the two of you walk in to this warehouse, and you see it laid out before you. You see these different floats and stuff like that. You see different crews, because New Orleans is split up into different crews when you go there. You see the Poseidon crew. You see different floats, and you see that the floats are lighting up, but there's no discernible pattern to it. Like, one float will light up for a little bit, and then sort of stop, and then another float will light up for a little bit, and then sort of stop again. And there's a large center area where you can kind of go and you can take photos with all the floats. And standing in that center area is a very familiar visage. It is a white poofy shirt and those same pants, kind of a hat, puffy sleeves, and it's standing directly in the center. And that is the warehouse you find yourselves in.
All right, I think we should just fuck this thing up.
Yeah, what if it's another mannequin? But then again, what if it's not another mannequin?
Well, then we just fuck it up even more.
Okay.
You start walking towards the mannequin, and all of a sudden, the mannequin stops, and it turns its head over to the side. You're 10 steps away. You can take a running leap. This thing takes off. And it crawls a little bit and then does a straight vertical leap about 15 feet into the air, into the ventilation system, which was open, and crawls away. And as it does, you see that the center area has that symbol that you've seen all throughout the park, sort of carved into the ground, chiseled.
What should we do, man? I don't know what to do. Should we just wait and see what happens? Should we keep going through the rest of the building?
We need to see if she's in here.
Yeah.
I
We
mean-
should probably start searching the rest of the
I
building.
mean, if you think about it, the E's were supposed to lead us to the bumper cars. The bumper cars were supposed to lead us to the love tunnel thing. And so it stands to reason that would have led us to this. So we just basically skipped that step and came here. So she's got to be here, right? That's how the stories go. She's got to be here.
Well, what if she's not? What if she's just not here? What if she's in a totally different part of the park?
But we'll never know if we don't look.
We'll have to keep searching. We gotta search the rest of this building first. And if we don't find her, then we'll just have
Off
to
in the
search rest of
distance, you
park.
hear a door slam.
Let's run towards the door.
Yeah, let's carefully walk towards the door.
You start running towards a door, and you see something that says, it's a door, looks like a metal door handle, and you see a sign that says employees only. And as far as you know, that's where the door slammed.
Okay, I'm gonna try to open the door.
I'm right behind him.
It is locked.
Mallet.
Yeah.
You knock the handle off this door, and the door opens.
Would I be able to yell loud enough to say, "Run, you two"? Something's
yes,
up.
yes.
You're a little preoccupied with her at the moment.
Of course.
So timeline-wise, the door opens, and it is a brightly lit park. The door has opened into a brightly lit.
Different park?
It is not an amusement park, like a summer's day, sun shining, birds singing, people eating food, brightly lit summer's day park. Lots of laughing. You think there's a cookout. You can smell the food cooking, and a little kid runs by you, and he's got sparklers. Do you recognize this kid?
Freaky. That's like latte sipping liberal.
It's hard to recognize yourself at a younger age.
Oh shit!
But
We're
you
not
do.
there. We're outside. We're preoccupied.
Is that the only kid in there?
No, it's not.
Do I recognize anybody in there?
Recognizing where?
In the park?
Is there any
What
other
part?
kids?
It doesn't look
You
like
were
a park
young
to
with
me.
him. You should.
What does it look like in the room to me?
It's an empty utility corridor
Ooh, that's dark.
with a light swinging.
Does she see me?
Yeah.
What's going on?
There's a park. Are you not seeing this park?
There's not a
There's like
park.
trees. There's a kid. He looks just like me.
What the hell is wrong with you? Stop freaking me out. It's
I don't
just
know
a
what
room.
the fuck is going on.
Why are you doing this?
It's
This
like a
is
big
not
open
funny,
park
okay?
with
Chat.
like trees.
This is not funny.
It's a game. She doesn't get it. It's a game.
What the fuck do you mean it's a game?
Come on, buddy. It's
No.
a game.
Oh,
Well, it's a game.
Who are you talking
I'm gonna
to?
fucking play your game.
You don't want to play?
No, I don't want to fucking play your game.
Who are you
I could
talking
see
to?
her next to me, right?
Well, if you don't want to play, I'll find somebody else who does. And the door closes, and almost closes all the way, and it looks like it's stuck, like half open. It's like a cracked open door.
very bad. Very bad.
What is going on?
I don't know. So are we locked in this room?
No.
The door.
The door looks like it was closed, and it's open just a crack. You still see bright light coming out of it.
Okay, I open it again. Okay,
It's not opening.
wait. I'll play your game.
A hand reaches in, grabs yours, yanks you inside, and the door slams shut.
It's not good.
Let's go back to you guys.
Oh dear. Thank you.
Oh my god.
So we are back on the other side of the building. The door has just slammed shut. It is then that you realize that you are outside and that there are at least 3 of these creatures walking around.
Okay, how far are we apart? That's cute.
You're about 20 steps away from her.
Is there any place that we could get onto the roof?
There is a ladder.
Okay, how in between us or is it
It's
in
closer
between?
to the building, and I would say that Allison is closer to the building.
All right, I tell Allison to get on there. I'm gonna run towards the ladder. We're gonna run for it, and we're gonna try to make it.
All right, runners, on your mark. You see 3 things lined up behind you. Get set.
We're running.
We're running.
Go! And you see 3 creatures sort of galloping on all 4 legs, and they look to be wearing the same sort of clothes. You are starting to climb your way up the ladder. You are behind. In order to make this work, I would say you're a little more athletic. You can actually thank Wyatt for establishing that. So Wyatt established that you're more athletic, so you're going to have to draw one thing in order to make it up to the top of this ladder. Not only are you less athletic, but you are also the one...
I do.
She pulls 1. You are going to either pull... You are either going to have to pull 3, or you're going to have to take a big drink and pull 1.
Go with your strengths. Go with your strengths.
Okay. I will... Allison, it is you. You are climbing up the ladder, and you were doing hand over fist. 1, 1,000. 2, 1,000. 3, 1,000. 4, 1,000. You're climbing up the ladder. 1, 1,000. 2, 1,000. 3, 1,000. You're almost to the top. 1, 1,000. 2, 1,000. You put one hand on that final rung up at the very top, and you pull yourself over the edge. You don't look around. You're reaching down to help Chet. 1,
Oh my
1,000. Or Wyatt, you activate a strength that you didn't know you had, and just as you're climbing up, one of them reaches down and grabs your foot. You kick at it, and as you kick at it, this thing reels backward, and as it does, it pulls the ladder off, and the ladder...
Do I grab the ledge?
The ladder falls backward, and you grab onto the edge. I will either give you a pull to pull him up, or I will give you a pull to pull yourself
I'm
up.
gonna try to save the
You
girl.
are trying to pull yourself up. You are reaching to try to pull yourself up. You access this hidden strength within you, and you see Bobby at the top of this thing reaching down and saying, I can help. I can help. And you see Bobby's hand reaching out to grab your hand. And it's only when you touch hands with her that you realize that's not Bobby, that's Allison. But for a split second, you saw Bobby bathed in ethereal light, pulling you up. And as she's reaching out and pulling you, the two of you stumble backwards onto the roof and lay on the roof, and you're looking straight at the sky. And we flash back to a moment where the four of you are laying outside as kids. And the world is bright and new and fresh. And the endless possibilities in front of you, and the five of you are staring at a star-filled sky, and you all stop and look at each other, and you remember the promises. You remember that secret pact of childhood where no words had to be spoken, yet more things could be communicated in this second alone than you've ever been able to communicate as the older you get. And all five of you simultaneously grab hands with Bobby in the center, and all five of you, it's not romantic, it's not sexual, it's not anything like that. It is just five people that have built the core of their being for the rest of their lives around each other. And you're all hearing music from some stupid car that's driving down the street, and it's nobody can remember the song anymore. It's great. It's peaceful, and it's wonderful. And you're back, and you're staring up at the star-filled sky.
I'm shaking it off quickly, and I want to see if there's any other point to get up on this roof quickly.
Yeah. Okay. You look around, and you don't see anything, any other way to get up, but you see those three faces staring up at you that fell.
And letters on the ground.
Well, you see something else as well.
What?
You see shapes in the
Toying
distance.
with my emotions.
You see shapes in the distance
How many?
moving towards this center spot.
How
I would
many?
say 5.
Do I still have? I still have the
10.
bag, don't
We're
I?
on the roof.
15,
Do I still have the bag?
20.
I have the bag.
More are coming. 25.
Do I have the bag?
30. You have the bag.
Is there any source of fire on this bag? Like around, any source of fire around me that I could start a fire? I'd be smart enough to know this.
Does anybody have a lighter?
Come on, ex-skater girl. I'm sure you got something on you.
Yeah, I got a lighter.
I want to burn the bag.
Yep. You take the lighter out, and as you flick it on, we're gonna cut back to you guys. Yeah. You're in this room, and he has just been taken into this space, and you're banging on the door, and you hear giggling behind you.
Alright, this is
Behind me?
fucking weird.
Behind you.
I
Brittany.
look over and does it sound like adult giggling or like child giggling?
Bobby.
I see her.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Brittany, are you okay? Are you okay?
Yeah.
What are
yeah,
you
where
doing here?
I run towards her.
She runs towards you, and she opens her arms wide, and she hugs you. She's like, I didn't think you'd come. I didn't think you'd come.
I grab her. Let's get out of here. Come on.
Yeah. Let's get out of here. Right now. And it pushes you back, and as you turn back, it's that same visage you've seen. It's that white shirt. It's that white pants. It is the gloves, and that face is looking at you, and that eye is wide and big, and it lowers its mouth down toward where you are. I'm gonna need a pull from you, and you know who you can thank for that. Atavistix, thank you so much. And as that mouth, oh God,
Nope.
why?
Nope.
That mouth is lowering
Nope.
towards you. You're reaching in for the stun
woman,
gun, the stun gun in your back pocket, and as you bring it up, and as this mouth lowers down towards you, you take the stun gun out of your back pocket, and you shove it in the mouth of this creature, and you fire it off, and you hear a shriek that reverberates into your very soul, and this thing backs away, and you see it fade for a moment. All of a sudden, it's not a clown, it's Bobby, and it's Bobby's father, and it's you, and it is Chet, and it is Wyatt, and it is you again, and it goes back to being Bobby, and it stops. You bitch. Let's go to you now.
Okay.
You're in the Sunny Park area, and the little part of you is taking you by the hand and saying, all right, we're going to play hide and seek. You remember when we play hide and seek?
Oh, fucking great. I'll play your game.
Yeah.
All right, let's
All right.
go.
You go hide first, and then I try to find you. 1,
Okay. I'm gonna try and find
2,
hiding.
3,
Oh damn.
4, 5. Ready or not, here I come.
for fun.
And you hide in a tree. You remember this tree. You go up into a tree and you go up and hide in this tree house. And as you're hiding in this tree house, the tree starts shaking. And we are going to cut back to this scene where it is
I know, evil bastard. What have I done?
I love you so much, Subs.
Subs coming in with a win. Wyatt, you can drink for fun, but no more drinks in order to hide from pulls. Say, Dustin.
You haven't covered anything yet.
Say thank you, Subs.
Thank you, Subs. You're awesome. Who is Subs? I will find your identity.
You are on the roof, and you hear a sound from what looks to be an access panel. And it is on the roof in the middle, and you hear dunk, dunk, dunk. And the pounding gets louder. Dunk, dunk, boom, 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 boom. And it's still pounding away. I need to know what you guys are doing.
We gotta get off of this roof.
No.
We should.
No. Do you
on-
see what's down there?
We should jump onto another roof. Is there another roof?
Yeah,
that we
because
can
we'll be
jump
safer on another roof.
onto?
There is, but it is about 10.
Okay, is there any entryway into the building?
The panel gets shot upward, and it is Chet.
Holy mother!
And Chet looks around at you guys, and you are still climbing your tree. And you hear, ready or not, here I come.
Chet, where's Brittany?
You don't hear that.
Oh, I don't hear it. Okay.
You climb into your treehouse, and you're moving to the back corner. And
Do we see this treehouse?
No. You see Chet, though, and he's climbing
he
over.
hanging in the air?
Nope. He's standing on the roof, and he's actually crawling over to the edge of the roof. And he's walking over to the edge of the roof. And
I'm gonna punch him.
Cool.
Wake him up.
So you reach forward. Oh, God. You reach forward to punch Chet. And you sock this dude so hard. Chet, you're about to step off of the roof. That was a middle finger to Subs if I've ever seen one. You walk over to the edge of this roof, and just as you're about to
let him drink again.
step off of the roof, you feel a punch, and you see a little kid go, no! And as he does that, you're back and you're on the roof and you're standing on the edge of the roof and you're teetering forward on the edge and on the back and like and you've just been hit and you're teetering forward. So I need you to either take a drink or make a pull to maintain your composure on the edge of this roof.
I can't do that anymore, but I'll drink with you, brother. One for the homies.
You're good. You stay standing.
Don't tell me what to do.
You stay standing, and it's then that you notice that surrounding this building is a literal, veritable army of the beings that you've been seeing. And they're not moving, they're just standing in a line around, and they're everywhere. It's people of different sizes and shapes and, oh God, ages surrounding the building. And they're all looking up at you, all missing their eyes, all with little lines carved into their face, little smiles. And we're going to cut back to Brittany. You know, I honestly worked so hard over the years to keep this group together. I tried everything. And when my parents got divorced and tried to force me to move, I stayed behind. And when my parents said that I couldn't stay behind, I did the next best thing. I took care of it so that I would be by myself. And you didn't believe in me. You had to go be the popular girl. You forgot all about the moments that we shared together as childhood friends. So I had to go to somebody else. I had to find something, somebody in the whole universe, and I had to scream and I had to call out to somebody that would help you guys to realize that childhood was the best moments of my life, and I wanted it back so badly. And Brittany, somebody answered when you wouldn't. When Chet stopped returning my calls. When Allison found her new band. When Wyatt couldn't go sit with me because he had to study. I became an accessory. So I called out and somebody answered. And he doesn't ask for a lot. He just asked for a sacrifice. And I kept bringing him sacrifices. I kept bringing him what he wanted. People that lived here, the homeless, more people, until he asked me for the one thing that would allow him and I to be together forever. My past. And when he called, I fucking answered. When you didn't. And she screams up at the ceiling, and as she screams, you don't see this, but you all see all of these figures surrounding this building scream upwards, a loud, resounding yell, and all of the lights in the amusement park turn on. Every single attraction. And you all watch as rides start to rebuild themselves. And everything that was on top of some of those buildings, all the clothes and stuff, get pulled downward into them, absorbed. And as they do, wood starts to mend itself and paint starts to be applied fresh. And roads where those symbols were carved, all of the paint and spray paint gets absorbed back into the wall. And this beautiful park starts to become fresh and new and joyous and attractive and wonderful. And just the type of place that you imagine would pull lots of families, lots of kids. Kids like all of you when you laid in that grassy field and looked up at the stars. And we go back to the roof. And Wyatt, it hits you like a fucking ton of bricks. Shit. Where are the final pieces? Where are the final pieces? Wyatt? When that moment hits you, when that moment hits you, Wyatt, you see Brittany, who is now standing on the roof. And Bobby is with her. And Brittany looks at you guys and says, guys, no, it was... And you're gone. You're gone. You never told Bobby how much you loved her, but she knew. She knew all those feelings you had for her, and she's finally ready to give you exactly what you wanted.
One last meal before I go.
And as you reach out to her, she covers your eyes with her hand and says, shh, I know how much you loved me. And I love you too, Wyatt. And she leans in for a kiss, and you feel her hot breath upon you. And it's gorgeous. I'm going to stop talking and let these guys... Wait. Trust me on this. You're going to need help.
You're gonna
Let's
have
see how this kiss goes.
you're gonna have to poke at different
I've got it,
bricks
yeah.
to
Okay,
try
I'm
it
going
out.
5
Test
down
it.
on the
back
side
right.
that I am.
Oh God,
stop.
no! This is a terrible
Okay,
idea.
right where your
No, just poke
right
it
where your
Okay.
pinky is. No, go down.
Hold on, right here. I
This is
guarantee.
gonna be so bad.
Nope. You're going to want to go down. That's
No,
the
where?
top.
That's the
the
very top. You gotta keep
go
going
down,
down.
a little bit.
Down,
You gotta
down,
poke it
down.
some
Okay,
different.
stop.
Oh
At that rope. Oh,
No.
be careful. Do
Oh.
the middle one. Do the middle.
Nope.
That's
Nope.
the edge.
Nope,
That's the
that's
edge.
not gonna-
go
no.
towards the middle.
yeah.
Okay. One
That's
one
stuck.
one
It's
ring
stuck.
of bricks. One ring of bricks higher. Okay.
Middle?
Okay.
Down,
Put your
down
thumb
one.
down a little bit.
I'm telling you right now, this one can go.
Oh, okay.
That one can't go.
No,
but you,
no,
it's gone.
Why is that? You guys really went against the nerd? Like, really? Chet over here?
It is then that you all watch as Bobby leans forward.
Is there any saving grace? Can I drink to get back in? I can save myself, can't I? Come on, vote for me to save myself, people. Wyatt can come back to life.
Okay.
You watch.
Wyatt.
You watch as Brittany stares on in horror, and so does Chet, and so does Allison as Bobby gives Wyatt the kiss he so wanted.
Can we
Somebody?
see Bobby?
You can. And all of a sudden, Wyatt is gone. And
This does not mean I'm dead yet. You can bring me back.
the lights get a little bit brighter in the amusement park. I need somebody to go over and grab this other Jenga tower that we have preset.
Oh, this is the bad one. This is the very bad one.
It is then that Bobby goes, you know what? I'm feeling stronger. And Bobby snaps her fingers, and the building starts lowering into the ground. And as you see, it is disappearing into the earth. And the three of you line up back to back. And as the building lowers, you see the swarm getting closer to eye level. And then it's at eye level. And then you're in the ground. And you are surrounded on all sides. and you realize there's only one way out of this, and that's to fight. You all pick up your weapons, and you start fighting. You start fighting.
We each have to
Oh,
pull
yeah.
how many?
You start
Oh, God.
fighting.
Oh, jeez.
That's not good.
Drumsticks through the head of one of the clowns that comes at you, and it goes down like a sack of bricks. Then another one coming at you from the side. You manage to take it out, and Bobby is laughing maniacally, and the people are swarming you, but each of you has your weapons. You've dropped the stun gun at this point and are just doing flying kicks towards some of the clowns. Stop!
Oh, gosh.
Clowns are swarming over you, and they are taking over, and you hear that same shuffling sound. And it is the darkened figure that you saw at the very beginning of this journey that has been following you around the park. And this darkened figure walks forward, and all of a sudden the swarm stops. And they all turn and look at this figure, and this figure removes the hood, and it's Bobby. And the clown wearing the white looks at her, and it's Bobby, 8 years old. And she stares at all of you. And she stares at the clowns. And she holds out her hand. And 8-year-old Wyatt walks up and grabs her hand. And Wyatt kisses her on the cheek. And she looks at the clowns. And she says, "Get the fuck away from my friends." And they all drop. And there is one left, and it is stunned and screaming. And she says, "Run. Run. Run!" Chet takes off, running towards the entrance of the park, and as Chet runs, something weird is happening. As Chet is running on his footsteps, this brightly colored paint everywhere he steps, where his shoes hit the ground, there's a flash, and you're all remembered of certain moments all throughout your childhood. Allison, bam, it's the first time that you talked about like a boy that you liked, and you remembered, and as you take a footstep down this cobblestone path, the buildings are starting to crumble, and you see some of the graffiti start to pulse back into view. Brittany, bam, you remember feeling like you were ugly, and your friends coming up and picking you up and telling you how amazing you are. Bam, Chet, you remember the first time you saw Bobby. And every step is another moment. And you acknowledge that childhood. You acknowledge that moment. You don't let it go, but you leave it behind you. And as you leave it behind, the theme park lunges and it breathes with every breath. It lurches forward towards you, and buildings fall and sink back in, and there is a flush. There is a flood of water as water starts to pour in from some unimaginable spot. And as you all three look behind you, you see a figure 10 feet tall, 12 feet tall, crawling towards you, unimaginable. Its eyes slit, cut, its mouth in a wide open gape, and its fingers and hands are made up of bodies, of the bodies of the clowns and the creatures that you see before you. And before you, you see the gates. And Chet, you are running towards the gates, and they are being held open. They are being pried open by the strongest thing you have ever seen, and it is an 8-year-old Wyatt and an 8-year-old Bobby that are holding these gates open by sheer force of will. And every step that you take, you remember another moment, and you let it go, and you remember the school dance, you remember the science projects, you remember the times that you spent together, you remember the good times, you remember the sad times, you remember the first movie you all saw, and they are swarming towards you. All of you need to pull one more brick.
I know I'm dead.
Does take its face away.
You run. You run. And you run. And Wyatt holds the door open for you. And with one sheer push, you jump through the gates and you are back in the field, laying on your backs, looking at the stars. And Bobby is saying, I will never forget this. I will never forget this. I'm so sorry. I didn't know what I was doing. I'm so sorry. And the gates slam. And the three of you turn around and you look, and it is Jazzland. It is broken and decrepit and run down and beat down. You know, they never find Wyatt's body. I mean, they search everywhere, and you tell people and eventually convince them and police and dogs to go looking forward, but you never see any results from it. Bobby's never found. There's no real answers to it. Whether you choose to acknowledge these moments and spend time together as you go on later in life, that's up to you and your characters. But you are reminded of the incident after you've let it go many years later, when you're all at home, you have children and families of your own, and it's 9:59 p.m. and you look at your phones and you see that you've all been texted a group number. And as you slide open your phone, a picture pops up. And that's where we're going to end the story. Thank you all so much for tuning in to the third episode of Drunken Dread. We hope you had a great time tonight, folks. We hope you enjoyed yourselves. We want to thank subs. We want to thank Fire. We want to thank Atavistics. We want to thank all of you that pooled bits and pooled time together.
Can I thank all of them too for killing me?
You can. Thank you for initiating our new player, one of our new players. Any final thoughts as we go around the horn? Dustin, did you enjoy yourself?
I had a blast, even though you guys killed me.
Annie, what do you think?
Oh, that was so great.
You had a fun time?
Yeah.
Scary? Trace?
Awesome.
This is great. Cherish your friends, everybody. Cherish your friends.
Thank you so much. You are just as much of a part of this story as the rest of the players and myself, and you contributing helps keep us on our toes. Please make sure you follow the Plaster Dragon for more stories, and we hope to see you next time for another dreadful evening. Yeah. Thanks a lot, guys. And thank you, John.